Hi, everybody. My name is Nanika Edwards. I'm a poet, author, artist. I wear many different hats. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean. And today I'm going to be sharing some insight into Chinese script, a Chinese word, which seems simple on the surface, but which I think is very profound. But within the context of abortion, we know that abortion is a hot topic right now. The debate is very heated. There are a lot of emotions running very high on both sides. I want to believe. Um, Me personally, as I explore this issue, I'd like to try to understand both sides and see where both sides are coming from, even though I am on the pro life side. As a believer, I both believe and know that God is pro life. So I'm definitely on the pro life side, but I also believe in doing sufficient research to understand both sides of the divide. So, so in this video, I'm kicking things off with an explanation of the Chinese word for kindness because I think it speaks beautifully to this issue. Feel free to leave your comments in the comment section. Thank you for being respectful and constructive. I studied Chinese back in the day when I did my bachelor's degree at McGill University in Canada, in Montreal. And as part of my degree, I learned Chinese, all aspects: reading, listening, writing, speaking. And my time at McGill was the start of what has been a continuous, never ending journey of discovery about the beauty, creativity, and the wisdom within Chinese writing. Anyway, the word that I would like to share with you today is the Chinese word for kindness. It is pronounced un. For example, it is part of the word undian, which means grace. You know, in the Christian sense of the word grace. Yes, un is a part of the word undian, which means grace. But un by itself means kindness. This word is made up of two main elements. On top is a boxed element, which means reason. And the element below that is a word which means heart. It can be the physical heart or it could be the intangible heart that we talk about when we refer to our emotions. You know, like my heart was hurting me, or you know what I mean. You know, you can have the physical heart or the intangible heart. That's part of our soul or our inner man. So the Chinese definition of kindness, according to their script, is that the reason for the heart is to express kindness, that the heart was created and designed by God for mankind to express kindness. And as we know, the human body is a very intricately designed and sophisticated system, if I could put it like that. It's a sophisticated and complex work of art. And even if we take each element, each organ or gland or blood vessel or cell that constitutes what our body is, a microscopic view of any portion of the body would boggle a reasonable mind, would boggle the average mind. Well, it's no less different with the heart. The human heart, as in the physical heart, is amazingly complex. And by the same token, and analogously speaking, if analogously is a word, maybe I'm making that up, I don't know, but analogously speaking, the intangible human heart is also an incredibly complex thing. It's an incredibly complex organ that produces thought, emotions, and the many different synonyms for thoughts and feelings that you can find in any thesaurus. That alone would tell you how complex the intangible heart is, if I could call it an organ, so to speak. And I don't think I realized how really complex it was until I came across a video by Pastor Alan Nolan of Cornerstone Fellowship. And he has a series of videos on the heart from a biblical perspective. And my mind was absolutely blown because, yes, I understood that the heart is a complex highway. I mean, even if you just study all of the words connected to heart in the Chinese lexicon, you would see just how diverse the functions of the heart are and the diversity of thought, feelings that flow through and are filtered in the heart. And I would encourage you to check out the series of videos that I just mentioned. I have learned so much from Pastor Allen, and if he's listening to this video, I would really like to take this opportunity to thank him for how much of a blessing his studies and his commitment to the truth have been to me. But anyway, the point I would like to make is that the heart is a very complex thing. And kindness, according to the Chinese, is a reason why each one of us has a heart. Now, kindness is something that people tend to take for granted. Most people see, I think the average person sees kindness as a weakness. This is why if somebody is kind to you, you may instinctively feel that the way to respond is to treat them like a doormat. Because kindness is typically seen as weakness, but actually, kindness is a superhero strength. Kindness is a superhero strength. You think of all the superheroes that we see flying with their capes blowing behind them, or or flexing incredible muscle mass, or spinning and twirling and becoming some wonder of a, a wonder of womanly help and assistance, right? You know what I'm talking about. Think about it. All of these superheroes are kind. That's what makes them superheroes. If they're not superheroes, if a really strong person is using their strength to bully, to harass, to torment, we would never call them superheroes. We would call them villains. But the superheroes are the ones who use their strength and their courage to be kind. And in a world as ugly as ours, it does take courage and strength to express kindness and to express it again and again, even if people so fixate on the the seeming weakness of kindness in their minds, that they don't see our strength and so on. But um, kindness is a strength, and clearly it's important to God. And the reason why I say this is because, and you may be wondering, well, what does Chinese have to do with God? How could you connect Chinese to God? But I have done several videos which illustrate that much of the philosophy embedded and encoded within Chinese script, if not all of it, dovetails perfectly with the philosophy of the Bible. And you can go check out those videos if you'd like. You can check the playlist section of my YouTube channel, Big People Talk, and you would see these videos. But needless to say, kindness is dear to God's heart. Kindness is meant to be a bonding agent. Kindness sprouts things like empathy, compassion, thoughtfulness. Kindness is what causes a garden of emotional beauty to blossom and bloom within the heart of any individual. Kindness is what makes our inner world like the Garden of Eden. You know, in the Garden of Eden, animals didn't hunt each other, they didn't feed on each other, they were friends. And in the Garden of Eden, man did not hunt animals, man was a guardian of the animal kingdom. Man was the guardian of the animal kingdom. Man was a protector. Man was the one who gave each creature its name and identity, and helped to define what each creature was. Man was like almost like a parent in a sense, like how a parent will name their child. You know a, in the Garden of Eden, man was almost like a parent to the animals. I don't know if that's too much of a stretch, but just like a parent will name their child out of love and joy and a sense of love, I think maybe that's what Adam did when God asked him to name the animals. He loved the animals. They kept him company to some extent. They may not have been perfect company, just like your pet dog may not be perfect company. Like it can't replace the company of a likable human being, right? So in the same way, there was this bond between the animals and the bond between man and the animals. Eden was a place of great kindness, and it was a place of perfection. It was a place of bliss. It was a place of peace. It was a place of contentment. So, why am I saying all of this? Because nothing about abortion is kind. Everything about abortion is cruel. Everything. The things that may lead people to want to choose to have an abortion, people being forced to have abortions when they don't really want to have them, the system that's set up to make abortion a number crunching, money grabbing kind of machine, or kind of disassembly line, if I could put it like that, almost literally in a sense, when you consider what is done to the unborn babies when they're suctioned out of the womb. Everything about abortion is cruel. And as I start to roll out what I hope will be a thought provoking series on abortion, I really wanted to start with just a general, basic, but very profound premise that human beings were designed to be kind. Kind to ourselves, kind to others, and definitely kind to God. I think being kind to God comes first. And you might ask, you can be kind to God? Of course you can be kind to God. when we please God, when we take an interest in what interests Him, when we seek friendship with Him, when we water our friendship with Him, we are being kind to God. So, if you do your own research, you will find that there is nothing kind about abortion. And I would like to start right there, because if you went to a child, maybe even the children who were aborted, who now exist in a more beautiful place and in a happier space, they would probably speak in the language of a child and say, "Why did you do that? That wasn't very kind." Like, that's what a typical child would do. That's a language of a child. And I believe that as adults, we're not supposed to lose touch with our childlikeness. Many people grow out of childlikeness into childishness. Childlikeness is innocent, loving, pure. Childishness is egocentric, ego-driven, selfish. And the Bible says that if we want to enter the kingdom of God, we need to be like little children. In faith, yes, but definitely also in kindness. If you meet a believer who can talk big and or talk fancy and preach plenty, who may even have a lot of faith, but who has no kindness, bet your bottom dollar that is somebody who either has spent no time with God or so little time with God in His presence that God's loving kindness has not sufficiently rubbed off on them. Christian and kindness are synonymous. Christian and cruelty don't mesh, they're oxymoronic. So, this is where I'd like to begin, with kindness. And I hope that you will follow along as I continue with my series. I am actually sharing as I myself learn and discover what abortion is all about, what being pro-life is all about, what being pro-choice is all about, what a pregnancy is all about. I am single and never been married. And, this is kind of virgin territory for me in a sense. New territory. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, thank you for hitting the like button and thank you for subscribing.